Cubans are now dealing with power outages that last between 20 to 22 hours per day. So many of them are in the dark when it comes to the escalating tensions between the regime that runs their country and the White House. On Thursday, in the Oval Office, and just one day after suggesting that a peaceful agreement could be reached, Donald Trump said just the opposite, that he would be the first U.S. president to intervene in Cuba.
Other presidents have looked at this for 50, 60 years doing something, and it looks like I'll be the one that does it. So
it was a message echoed by Trump's Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, a Cuban American who's long been critical of Cuba's communist regime.
The president's preference is always a negotiated agreement that's peaceful. That's always our preference. That remains our preference with Cuba. I'm just being honest with you. The likelihood of that happening, given who we're dealing with right now, is not high.
On Wednesday, the U.S. aircraft carrier Nimitz arrived in the Caribbean, escorted by 2 other warships. And the new threats from the White House come on the heels of a U.S. indictment of Raúl Castro, the former president of Cuba, on murder charges. Last week, CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to Havana for a rare meeting with senior Cuban officials.
All these are carefully orchestrated moves to increase pressure on the regime as the Trump administration tries to negotiate something. If the negotiations fall apart like they did in the Venezuela case, I think you are more likely than not to see some type of military action.
One possibility is that the U.S. could push for leadership change as it did in Venezuela after U.S. Special Forces captured its leader, Nicolas Maduro. But experts say Cuba is not Venezuela. And even though Cuba is on the verge of economic collapse, decades of repression have left little room for organized dissent.